Welcome back to Skinny Wednesday. Well, studies show that childhood obesity is nearing epidemic proportions, and related diseases like diabetes and heart disease are on the rise. Well, as parents, we want our kids to have long and healthy lives. So our next guest says the best time to start on that path is when they're young. Take a look. Fred Hahn has been an exercise trainer for more than 20 years. As the father of 2 young daughters, Fred knows the importance of keeping kids fit in a regular exercise routine. In his book, Strong Kids, Healthy Kids, Fred shows how you can safely and effectively become your child's coach. Using weights for resistance and strength training, your kids can be strong and healthy in just 30 minutes a week. Please welcome to the 700 Club the author of Strong Kids, Healthy Kids, Fred Hahn. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Can I call you Fred?
Fred is fine.
Okay, that works. When I was reading your book, the thing I thought was really fascinating was that it completely went against what I thought was correct, which is, I thought when it comes to kids, you're not supposed to allow them to lift weights until they're teenagers, but you say that's not the case.
Right, that's true. Actually, it's a myth that's been around for a long time, and it actually has no factual basis. In fact, the opposite is true. If you look at the scientific research on the subject, weightlifting, or as I prefer to call it, strength training, actually enhances the growth of children quite dramatically, in fact.
Really?
Yes.
Now, what about the bone? I always think about kids' bones are so tender that they're just going to break and we'll mess it up.
Yeah, we hear that all the time, and it actually is just a myth, and there's never been a scientific study that has ever proven that. And the science actually shows that not only does it not damage it or stunt the growth, it actually, again, enhances it.
Well, let's talk about some of the enhancements, like what does strength training do for our kids? The positives.
Well, there are so many. I mean, strength training increases muscular strength in kids, which means that if your child is an athlete, it will absolutely increase their performance. They'll jump higher, they'll run faster, they'll do better at their sports, and also, very importantly, it'll decrease the chance of the injuries that a child might experience in gymnastics or football. Other great benefits are the ability for body fat to be lost at a far greater rate than if the child performed aerobic activities. And that's something a lot of people don't know, that strength training is really the most effective way to reduce adolescent obesity as well as adolescent diabetes.
Interesting. What's the early stage you can do this? So I'm thinking you wouldn't do this with a 4-year-old, but maybe like a 8-year-old? I don't know.
Sure.
You tell me.
Yeah, well, actually, if you look at the research, any child of any age can actually participate. The only difference is that if the child can't completely concentrate and follow instructions, then it's a little difficult for them to, like my daughter, Georgia, who was able to do this at 6. My other daughter, Amber, at 6 or 7 years old, she still was kind of like a goofball. She would, listen to 1 or 2 exercises and then, she was all over the place. So it really depends on if the child can focus and concentrate. But from a physiological standpoint, any age is fine.
Really? That's fascinating to know. Well, we have 2 wonderful models here. They're our special guests. We've got 11-year-old Sky Stewart and 9-year-old Zach Davis, and they're actually going to help us with some of these exercises, and they're going to show us. So come on in, guys, and I got to tell you, I'm so happy because finally today I don't have to do the exercises. You guys are the guinea pigs. Can I get a hoo-hoo? Are you going to do the hoo-hoo? No? All right, I tried. All right. Well, first of all, why don't you start out with Fred? Tell us what to do.
All right.
Or tell them what to do.
Sure. Well, the first exercise I was going to do is called the body weight, or with dumbbells, the squats. And what this exercise is going to do is build the strength of their legs and their hips.
Gotcha.
So what they're going to do is very, very slowly begin to bend their knees on the count of 5. All right, nice and slow. Begin. 1, 2. You can go. Yeah, go right ahead. 3, 4, 5. Now just as slowly come right back up.
Now, it's so funny, they're so cute, they're like concentrating, like, oh, hum it.
Yeah, they're doing
How
great.
many should they do? Keep going.
Now, ideally what they would do is as many as they could until their legs started to shudder and twitter and their muscles were completely exhausted, which may be about 5 to 10 repetitions.
Are you guys exhausted yet? Keep going.
Okay.
Are you exhausted? Are you? No? All right, God bless
All right, give it one more try.
All right.
Nice and slow. Now, real slow when you come back up. And the reason why we want to do it slowly, all right, that was great. Go ahead and put the dumbbells down right in the front there. The reason why we want to do it slowly is because it's safer, there's less force on the joints, and it actually increases the level of work the muscles do.
Now, really quick, as you begin to tell them what to do in terms of the next exercise, how much weight should they have? Should they just have a lower amount of weight so that it's with greater repetitions, or stronger weight? Tell me about how much weight they should have.
Right, that's an excellent question.
Yeah.
The resistance or weight they should use should be appropriate enough so that their muscles fatigue fatigue within 60 to 90 seconds.
Gotcha.
So for a larger child, it might be 10-pound dumbbells. For an even smaller child, it might be 2-pound dumbbells. So it's just a matter of making the muscles fatigue in the right time frame.
Gotcha. Okay, let's fatigue them.
All right, another exercise will be the push-ups.
Is that a word, fatigue them? Anyway, go ahead.
Well,
Push-ups.
it's a new one. All right, come on this side, and we're gonna go side by side.
All right.
All right, so now we're gonna get on our knees, right, remember? And hands out in front. That's exactly right. All right, now once again, nice and slowly. On the count of 5. 1, 2, 3. Let the forehead touch the mat. That's excellent. And slowly up.
So is this something that they should do before school, after school, every day? What do you suggest?
Oh, not every day. Twice a week at most.
Okay. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, once a week works well too. And nice and slowly back up. And they can do it before school, after school, right before they do their homework.
Gotcha. Excellent.
Very
do we have
good.
another exercise?
Yeah, we're going to do
I'm gonna
one
let you
more
guys get up.
exercise. All right, nice and slow up. There we go. All right. Now the next one we're going to do is for the shoulders. How you guys feel?
Are you fatiguing yet?
Doing good? Come on over here. All right, so let's grab the lighter dumbbells now. And we'll stand to the side. Now this is going to strengthen the muscles of their shoulders and a little bit of the upper neck.
Okay.
Now, once again, nice and slow. Begin to raise the dumbbells away from your sides. There you go. These guys are good.
Very good.
All the way up a little more. Now you're going to
Excellent.
pause there and nice and slow back down. Now the interesting thing about this is that it looks easy,
It
but
does
if
look
you were
easy.
actually to feel it,
Yeah,
it feels very
it's
challenging.
big time burning.
It is. All right,
So
give
what
it
would you
another try.
suggest? That when the burn starts, they should stop, or when it burns, they should do one more set?
Ideally, they should continue until they would, for example, he would get down to the bottom
Yeah.
and he would try to lift it up again, but just simply couldn't do it.
Gotcha.
Then he'd be done.
Gotcha. Before we really start wrapping this up, I'm curious. We're working on the weights, but how much cardio should a child get? We know adults should get, maybe 30 minutes every day of cardio. What about children? How much
Well-
cardio should they have?
Well, here's a very interesting scientific fact.
Yeah.
Children cannot improve their cardiovascular capacity or health.
Really?
It's already as healthy as it should be now.
Gotcha.
Strength training will improve their ability to perform aerobic activities, meaning if they strengthen the muscles of their legs, they'll run faster and longer.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Fascinating. Good to know. All right, so we hit all the different exercises. Did we hit them all? Are there any more
No,
exercises?
it was those 3. We were going to demonstrate those 3.
And then we're done. Well, wonderful. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. I really, really
job.
appreciate it. We've got a book. And here we go. I'm going to have you hold the book. You ready? And I'm going to have you hold the fact sheet.
Very nice.
And we've got a book, and the book is called Strong Kids, Healthy Kids, and the fact sheet is called Building Strong and Healthy Kids. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you so much,
Thank you
Fred,
so much.
for being here. All you have to do is just log on to cbn.com, or you can call 1-800-716-FACT and get the fact sheet. We appreciate all of you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to throw it over to you, Pat.
Well, that is revolutionary. I was under the impression, like you were, that they had to get to be teenagers. Of course, the weights they're lifting is pretty small, and I think that's strength training, but it's not trying to bust up 150 pounds on a bench press. It's still small, and they're doing well. That's very interesting.